Hello, English teachers! Are you ready to power up your English class? Here are some tips for using more English to manage activities in your language classrooms. To use more English in the classroom, teachers need good language skills in English. However, language competency is not just about giving clear instructions in English. Effective activity management is necessary to facilitate student engagement and learning. This means that teachers are responsible for thinking and planning about how to help students engage better in language tasks. In other words, managing an activity step by step is crucial to improving student engagement and learning. For example, to do a listening activity, a teacher might say, "We are going to listen to this story. Please answer the questions on the handout." These are clear instructions in English. However, it does not support students in the listening process. Students may not understand what the questions on the handout mean. They can be easily confused because listening to understand English is challenging for many students. On top of that, if they do not understand the questions on the handout, we are setting our students up to fail in this task. Also, there is no expectation from the teacher for students to interact with one another. Instead, let's see how a teacher can prepare students more effectively through a listening activity. Pay attention to how the teacher gives step-by-step instructions for this activity. Step 1. Before the first listening, the teacher says, "All right, we are going to listen to a story now. Let's listen first to find out what the story is about. You don't have to take any notes. Let's just listen for the main idea. Are you ready? Let's start." Step 2. At the end of the first listening, the teacher says, "Okay, students, can anyone tell us what the story is about? Please raise your hand." "Peter, can you tell us what the story is about?" The student might say, "Lena is worried about something, and friends give her advice." In steps 1 and 2, the teacher gives the students a chance to get a general idea of the story through the first listening opportunity. In this way, students can make educated guesses on the listening content before doing more complicated listening or speaking tasks. You are helping them to build schema. Step 3. The teacher engages her students in pairs for the main listening comprehension task using the same listening excerpt. On this handout, there are some specific questions. Please answer them with your elbow partner. The teacher can facilitate the pairing by saying, "You two can pair up, and you two." Does everyone have a partner? Also, make sure everyone has a handout to work in pairs. Does everybody have a handout? Step 4. Go over the questions. Once all students receive a handout and have a partner, the teacher can go over the questions on the handout to check for students' understanding. This process supports student comprehension. There are several ways to do this. Okay, let's go over each question one by one and make sure everyone understands. Sonia, would you please read number 1? Another way is to have different student volunteers read the questions out loud by asking, "Does anyone want to volunteer to read? Please raise your hand." Also, the teacher can have the partners read the questions to each other so everyone can also practice speaking, not just 1 or 2 students. Please read out loud the questions with your partner, alternating one at a time. Make sure you understand each question. If you do not, please raise your hand. I will come and help you. And once everyone goes over the handout questions, the teacher can do a whole group comprehension check by asking, What questions do you have? Or do you have any questions? Or is there a question you need me to clarify? Step 5. If everyone understood the questions, the teacher can say, "Now, let's listen to the story again. Please listen carefully. We will find more details about Lena's troubles and what advice Kenny and Yusuf give her. You may now write notes in your notebook." Step 6. After the story is heard a second time, give them time to complete the handout in pairs. All right, I will give you 10 minutes to answer the questions on the handout together with your partner. Ready? Go! While partners are working together on the handout, what should the teacher do? Yes, the teacher can move around the classroom and give assistance to the pairs. Also, give them time warnings such as, "You have 3 minutes left," to help them manage their time. Step 7. The teacher can announce that time is up and go over the answers. There are also several different ways to do this to increase student engagement. Time's up! Does any pair want to share your answers? What is the answer to number 1? Raise your hand. As the students volunteer answers, the teacher can write down their answers on the board using complete sentences. Or a volunteer from each pair can come up to the board and write the answers. The teacher can say, "Any volunteers to answer number 1? Okay, thank you, Lynn. What is the answer to number 1? Please send one person from each pair up to the board. Write each answer down using a complete sentence. Who wants to answer number 1? Thank you. At the end of the listening task, the teacher can always praise the students for their good work by saying, "Nice work on the listening task, everyone. Great teamwork. I am so happy and proud that you worked hard on this activity. It wasn't easy, but you all did a good job." Now, what do you think about these activity management strategies? Do you think the step-by-step approach to using English can be used in your classroom? I hope so. Feel free to practice these teacher talk examples and think about other creative ways to use English to effectively manage classroom activities. Thanks for watching and learning. Now let's go do it!